Okay, so this time we're going to assemble all our components together. So I've opened up a blank drawing. First thing I'm going to do is save it. So I'm going to call this fixture creation. Save that. So this is now basically saved. What I can do is go up to my data panel, find a folder where all my components are in. So I've got all my range of components, and the first thing I'm going to do is drag in my table, like so. And obviously that will obviously set on the datum for where we drew it, like so. So this will move as well. So what you can do is you can join. You can actually join these components together. Origin of that. So if I lock those components together first, that now stops this table from moving from that 0, 0 point. So I'm just use a joint, a simple joint. So next, what I need to sort of do is start to base upon my block. So I just made a 50 by 50 by 25 mil block. I bring this into my part. That's actually sat down here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to flick it up and just move it away from my center point. Now, I'm going to go into the top view. I'm going to just roughly going to try and get it in the center, roughly. So obviously you really like to CNC from the center, really. So I'm just going to put my block there. And if you look at my block, it's actually just flying around in midair. So there's no kind of structure. So I'm just going to move it to my base. I'm just going to choose my base point. I might be translate actually. Just drop it down. So now it's on my base, like so. Okay, that. Okay, so I'm going to clamp. So I'm going to put a clamp on the back of the component, a clamp on the front, so I could just basically put a slot through the center. So if I'm just going to essentially open up this block, I could clamp it down and sort of say, well, my CNC is going to happen within that center point. So if I go to right click, open, okay, there's my block. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a new sketch, just so you guys can see really that just do a 20 mil block. And let's base that. Which can also be 15, which it is. So I'm going to drop cut. Distance, I say 12 cut. Minus 12. So I'm just going to sort of save that. Just put added cut feature. So I'm just going to save that and come out of that. Now when I go back into my assembly drawing, it says that I'm not transferring the latest data, so I'm just going to upload that and I'll put my cut in so I know on my block where to put my clamps. So what I'm going to do now is going to bring in a T-nut. Okay, bring a T-nut into my drawing, so just dragging and dropping again. I'm just going to free move it over here. Okay, now what I need to do is put one in the back and one in the front. So I'm going to put a joint, capture the new position that I'm working from. So that face there to this face here. So then translate. So you have to click the first face, click the second face, and click the first face again to make it rotate round. So I'm just going to go onto the right view. Now, obviously, if you drop this down and you drop this across, it's going to do it in 1 mil fragment, so I'm going to do that to 0.5. That'll get it in the center. Just come up to the top now, and what I want to essentially do now is drag it all the way, just covering my component like so. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to do a Control C, Control V. So up here, Control C, Control V. I'm just going to offset that one to this side, so this will keep the same joints and the same mates. Now if I ping around, I've got a two of my clamps now nicely built in. Next I'm doing, I'm bring my stud in. This is my 50mm stud. And again, I'm just going to do a joint, select the bottom with the cylinder, I come flying in, and obviously this is going to be semi quite high, so I need to obviously drop it into the threader component. So I'm going to drop it in, let's do 6mm in, that seems to be fine. Same again, copy paste, translate that across into this one, 100mm difference, which you know is correct. Now that's my studs in both of my components. Next I do, bring in the step clamp, not open it, sorry, bring it into the drawing, and again just going to raise this up, move it over to my part, just doing it by eye really, until you get close, and what you can then sort of do, use that joint tool, capture the new position, angle it around. So now I'm looking at my joint. Okay, so now my joint's going to hit my component there, so what I'm going to do is just lift it up. Because this snap grid's on, so I'm going to change the snap the grid to a bit more finesse. Is that coming to move? Yeah, coming to move. Just going to drop that down. It's touching the surface. Now when I come back, what I need to now do is make sure that's got enough room on the back of the clamp, which it has. It's not touching either side, which is fine. So once again, I come to that step clamp, copy paste, move at 100mm. Put 100 to be fair. And now I want to turn increment and move back on, because I want to rotate this 90 degrees, or 180 degrees, sorry. And again, back to the right hand edge. Plunk that over, just shift the top, make sure that we're in clearance, which we are. Okay, so that's now, the clamp's now set up, and if you can look, it's nowhere near my feature. So I know that that's going to be quite happy putting a mill cutter through there. Last thing to do is to put our washers in. Wash number 1. And then you could put the nut in as well actually at this stage if you wanted to. So use my 10.8mm thick nut. Okay, come down to my bottom corner. And these features are one's above the other now. So if I just hit like a joint move. Zero. I'm not quite sure why I did that. Let's just move this one up slightly. Let's do 8mm up. Now we can join, capture the new position, this face to this face. SMP1 works. So let's capture that one. On the front view to make sure we're still in alignment. And implement with step. You can put step off because it's not a pin 10.8. It's a minus 10.8 to get to such a surface like that. Okay, now what we can do a joint. Move this one over to my clamp. Okay, it hasn't actually brought the washer, which I thought it would have done. Highlight nut and washer joint. That one, my second face. That one there. Okay, so make sure you do it the other way around. So it's this one. Joint's definitely continuing down. Like so, then coming into again the front, propping it up. $15. It hasn't got the washer again. Let me. Let's drag it over first. Let's just come in here. Like so, let's just assemble, capture the new position. I need to just get a washer in. That one there to that one there. I'm sure it's dragging the nut because they are locked together, but hey ho. .5 is the thickness. And the last thing to do is then joint the nut. Oh, it has done it. So when we go into the right view now, you should better see how much thread is free. So the nut has got enough thread to ungrip. So last thing to do, copy this one and flick it over to 100mm. To the other side, set that. There is our design set up with our clamps, fixtures, and obviously next thing you would need to do is just put the step supports in behind, but that's essentially our view now. Just using the joints. What then we could do is you could then take this if you wanted, put it into a manufacturing setup, and then you could sort of then define your blocks. So I get it set up. So machine, I've got to choose a machine. I'm just going to use the generic 3-axis for this one. It's going to do a selected point. So I'm going to choose the back left rather than the front right. There. Milling, origin, yeah, model is that one. Fixture, so I can come in now, I can then say that these are all my fixtures. There are my fixtures. I really like this bit, so let's go for a pocket. There we go. So it seems to like that one better. So I got my tool, got my pocket. Just going to modify my heights again. So it's going to come in again, just drag. You can drag your feed so it just starts to slow down around about the clamp area. Multiple depths, please. So sort of 2.5. And that'll generate my tool path, which is now done. Just going to remove that first one. So let's just move out of that cycle. I come in now, I can simulate. So now I'm just looking for any interference in my clamps. Let's speed down. So open up my pocket, I know I'm nowhere near my clamps. Finishing up for size. Which is fine, so I'm just going to happy with those movements. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show the stock as well. So it comes in full height. Yeah, so it comes in full height and works backwards. This is a bit strange, but that's because I'm pretty sure the geometry is set on the bottom, but so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to choose a couple of faces. Let me enter the toolpath. So let me just choose the stock top. There's my bottom feature there. So now that looks better. That from the right, it shouldn't go down in one go now. Opens up a feature, so just, you can see it's now moving down in sections. Like so, which is I want to make sure that none of my fixturing is going to interfere with my programming. Also, whilst I'm on the right view, I'm just going to check, make sure that every movement, none of my tools get anywhere near close to my section, which they're nowhere near, well above the height. And that's my tool complete. So there's my overall table, there's my clamp set, and then there's just a quick manufacturing process to show that I can now code, and I could now output to a machine, set up that clamp within my machine, knowing that these clamps are nowhere near any of the interface of my program. There we have it. So thanks for watching, and continue to flick through any other videos of your interest. Thanks.